There is a fifth dimension, beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call the Twilight Zone.
We're back.
Oh, didn't blow my eardrums out that time.
You're welcome.
Welcome, everybody. Purple Pill Podcast. I always feel strange seeing those P's.
There's a lot of P's.
The 3 P's. Purple Pill Podcasts. Let's just make it like it's Purple Pill Podcast on the logo.
Right.
Okay. But I'm going to say Purple Pill Show going forward because I don't like the PPP.
Okay.
It's like, wasn't there a PPP program during COVID and gave money to a bunch of businesses or something?
Was
PPP program? What does it stand for? Anyway,
but I like that idea. Let's do show. PP show.
Yeah, and then
the PP show.
No, do not do that.
Okay.
Can we cut that out?
Yeah.
Don't say that again.
Okay.
What are you saying? Oh my God. Anyway, welcome everybody. I'm your host, Cody.
I'm Tim.
And that is Tim over there. That is Tim.
I'm the co-pilot.
You are the co-pilot. This is the show where we suspend our beliefs on what was and what is, and we use our imagination on what is and what could be. All right. So, whenever you get what that means is whenever you're offended or you get upset by something we say. You're supposed to be suspending your beliefs. So if you didn't do that, that's like a cautionary thing that I read in the beginning. So if you don't suspend your beliefs, then, whatever emotions you experience are on you.
What is that, like a parental advisory?
Yeah.
On the
It's
rap tape?
It's like a parental advisory. Hey, listen, we're just kidding, kind of, but not really. Okay. So don't get mad at me. All right. Get mad at somebody else because you didn't heed.
Don't get mad at all.
Yeah, right? We're trying to...
Yeah.
If you get mad, bad things happen. And you don't want that to happen.
What's this episode
called? Whoops. This episode is called Who Am I? I Am.
Oh, dope.
Yeah. And so, when I was... when it all began, like back in Origin, just to touch on it, one of the first things Holy Spirit asked me was, who are you? And then it was a pause, and I said, Cody is. And he goes, no. Who have I said you are? And then that's when the Genesis scripture came about. And it was Genesis 1, verse 27. So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. And so it's like, well, wait a minute. Okay, so I'm the image of God. So when God looks in the mirror, he sees you. He sees you. He sees you. And so that's what this episode's going to be about. It's going to be what that I am means. When God told Moses that his name was I am. Why don't you read that scripture? The first time God ever tells anyone what his name is.
The Exodus?
Yep, so that's what this is.
Exodus 3:14. And God said to Moses, I am who I am. And he said, thus you shall say to the children of Israel, I am has sent me to you. Moreover, God said to Moses, thus you shall say to the children of Israel, the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob has sent me to you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial to all generations.
That's beautiful. So the Lord, so God himself kind of combines the two, right? I am who I am. Tell them I am sent you. Moreover, tell them the Lord. So the Lord I am, or I am, and then secondary, the Lord. And
Right.
that's in the beginning. That's before Jesus is born and all those things. So
Yes.
and as a Christian, when you're in the mainstream church, when you're just a regular mainstream Christian, this statement, whenever you come across this, even as a kid and growing up in your 20s, 30s, whenever they come across this I am statement, it always hits different.
Yeah.
Any Christian that's been going to church, in the traditional sense, can kind of, not all or every, but I know I've talked, I've went to church for many, many years, and everyone I ever talked to about this has always said, yeah, it seems like as though as if it's, a clue. It's a clue, right? That's like kind of my feeling about it, and always has been. Why would he say? I mean, we're talking about
who I am.
Yeah. Well, first I am. Oh no, it's I am who I am, and then it's I am sent you, right?
Right.
And you're thinking you're just going, that just hits different. And the pastor never kind of drills down on it. They kind of just move on quickly.
Yeah.
And then the third version, and then the third thing he says is I'm the Lord. So it's I am who I am. I am,
Yeah.
and then it's the Lord, and you're just thinking,
The Lord God.
Yeah, and it just kind of sticks in your head and never kind of lets go of you.
So when you go into a church, most mainstream churches, virtually everybody in there knows him as the Lord or God. But I don't think any church I've been in where people were like, I am.
I know. That's another strange thing is that when he's directly asked for the first time,
Right.
in the most historical book, whether you love it or not love it or have read it or have never read it, it still is like in history, according to the world, it is the first book, right? Before that it was scrolls and other items you wrote on. This was one where all these writings were compiled in this, it was the first book. And so the creator of the universe, the reason we're, here, because you're born, you don't know why you're even here or what you are, right? When you're born. So the creator says, I am who I am, which is boss, by the way. It's like Clint Eastwood. Go ahead and make my day. It's really a boss answer. And then he doubles down on it with, tell them I am sent you.
Yeah.
Then Moses is really confused. Like, what?
Moses is probably tripped out.
Oh yeah. I think in the verse, he starts going, wait, what?
What is that?
What do I say? He probably thinks it's some kind of, wait, am I listening to is God even speaking to me, or am I just listening to myself? Am I schizophrenic?
Yeah, right.
But anyway,
they're going to 5150.
But it is strange. So God clearly tells you what his name is. And then
I am.
Right. And
who
then
I am.
And then you go to, that's the first name he says.
In caps.
So that should be the name we're using a lot. I mean, at least 50% of the time.
Yeah.
I would think 70, but
Sure.
at least 50. But meanwhile, it's like not even 10.
No. You hear Yahweh more than that.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeshua, you hear more than that.
Yeah.
Those are names you never hear.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really curious how the organized system religion
has kind of
transformed it, and it's just like the Lord. It's like this, just the static, inert type of name, the Lord, just the Lord, or God, or they just straight up, you get to the New Testament, people just say just Jesus. Yeah. That's it. They don't use I am at all. However, the I am does sneak through, right? There's some good Christian rock songs, The Great I Am, it's a great song, that touch on it, and it's just a great, kind of anthem. And it always stuck with me, and I really always identified with this. And I always thought, I love God a lot, right? So I always thought, gosh, I want to call him I am. It just seems so boss. And so
it's the first documented statement,
right,
of him claiming his name.
And then if you put it with the Genesis, which I just read, if you put that we are made in the image. See, this is curious. Genesis comes before Exodus.
Yes.
And so Genesis says, we're made in the image in his, it's like a double down. It's like a double down on that. Let me pull it up one more time here. So God created mankind in his own image, and then double down in the image Just in case you didn't get it the first time.
Right.
In the image of God, he created them, male and female. So male and female are created in the image. God created mankind in his own image. Okay, we got it, bro. No, you don't. In the image of God, he created them. So this is really an important point he's making.
Yeah.
And then you go to Exodus, not that far away from Genesis.
Right.
And it's I am who I am. So so when God looks in the mirror, he sees me, you, everyone. And then his name is I am. Very curious. And so then that's going to segue into the energy metaphor that I wanted to say. Okay, so we know that matter is everything we see, touch. I think we've touched on this in another episode, but everything is made up of energy. Okay, so everything is made up of atoms.
Atoms.
Okay, atoms are energy.
Right.
And atoms are energy that are vibrating at certain speeds.
Yeah.
And the lower, the more dense the object, and the higher, the more wispy, ethereal the object is. And so every single thing is made out of atoms. You're made out of atoms. And curious, the pun intended, the first man is Adam, A-D-A-M.
Yeah.
But we're all made of atoms, A-T-O-M.
Yeah.
That's not a coincidence. Okay, so we're all made of atoms. Atoms are energy. Everything is vibrating, depending, the laptop is vibrating very low, right? We're vibrating, or at least our physical bodies are vibrating low. We have a higher self that vibrates higher. Okay. So every single thing is energy. We all have that in common. We're all atoms floating around. And then, so we call it energy. What is this energy? This energy is God.
Inside of you.
It is God. The energy is God. Now, is it God? No. What I mean by that is it's an essence of God. It's like his blood, like in his veins. That's what this energy is. And I say he because that's just my culture. It could be, God has many different aspects, obviously. So there's a feminine, there's a masculine, there's a, just in general source vibe as well. So don't get hung up on that. I just kind of, that just kind of popped in my head right now. I wanted to let people know.
So it's God inside of us.
It's God inside everything. So on another episode, I told you, God is everything, right? And people I could already hear him thinking, right? Just going, well, wait a minute. If God's everything, then he's not, these Truman Show scripts start repeating in people's minds. If God's everything, he's nothing. No. Where did we learn? What's that? This is a typical kind of like response from learned people that just go, well, if he's everything, he's nothing. It's like, well, wait, no. If he's everything, he's God. Okay. And it shows us
he's and nothing. It's all.
Right.
He's all the time.
So everything is made up of atoms. Atoms are energy. What is the energy? The energy is like a huge essence of God. So if everything is made up of the essence of God, then everything has a piece of God or is a huge, large part of God. Wouldn't exist. I mean, we are energy fundamentally.
So, and they're all connected.
Okay, so
they have to be all connected.
Right. And
everything has to be connected.
What's the book tell us? We're made in the image.
Yeah.
And we're all energy, right?
Tells you twice.
So there's the 3D. So remember the cause and effect from the fifth dimension episode, right?
Yeah.
So made in the image, 5D. That's the cause. The effect, atoms, we're all made of energy. God's name, I am. We're all parts of God.
Right.
So the I am makes sense with the energy.
Yeah, it does.
Okay, great. I love that. Because that's some science, right? We're bridging science with metaphysical, right? We've got the religion, we've got the metaphysical aspect of it, and then we've got the science behind it. I mean, we know everything's made of atoms. And so you put those together. No wonder his name's... No, oh, really? So no wonder his name's I am. No wonder we're made in the image. And so if that's true, what can we look at that proves that? Oh, we're all made of atoms. Everything is actually. Every single thing. Oh, what? So that brings me to the everybody scriptures. Everybody scriptures. We're going to do that. Oh, okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is now we're going to shift, right? We're going to shift.
Timelines?
So who am I? I am, right? So we've got that. We're going to put that on the shelf now. Now we're going to switch over to New Testament, and we're going to go to Jesus, and he is the example, and he is the name above all names. He's the first example of no qualifications to be divine, right? So you don't have to jump through, you don't have to meditate for 30 hours. You don't have to jump through any hoops. You come as you are.
You can just be.
You can be. You just decide in the moment. And so now we're going to switch to what Tim and I call the everybody scriptures. We've coined it this, but it's actually what does it say at the top? I mean, I guess it's just the scripture.
It's the final judgment. It's in the final judgment. Okay. Matthew 25.
Go for it. Oh, wait. Are you going to do the first and I'm going to do the second, or I'm going to do the first?
Yeah, I'll just start with when the Son of Man comes in his glory and all the angels with him, then he will sit on his glorious throne. Before him will be gathered all the nations. He'll separate the people from one another, right? And then he starts telling them, he'll say to those on his right, "Come you who are blessed in my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world." Verse 35, "For when I was hungry, you gave me food. I was thirsty, you gave me a drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was sick, and you visited me. I was in prison, and you came to me." Then the righteous will answer him, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you a drink? And when did we see you stranger and welcome you, and naked and clothe you? And when did we see you sick in prison and visit you?" And the king will answer them, "Truly I say to you, as you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me."
Wow, beautiful.
So he's essentially describing everybody.
Oh my gosh, that's great. And then, so then he does a double down.
Right.
And when you did it to the least of me, as you did it to one of the least of these, my brothers, you did it to me.
Yeah.
Then he will say to those on his left, "Depart from me. I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you did not welcome me. Naked, and you did not clothe me. Sick and in prison, and you did not visit me." Then they also will answer, saying, "Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty, or a stranger, or naked, or sick, or in prison, and did not minister to you?" Then he will answer them, saying, "Truly, I say to you, as you did not do it to one of the least of these, you did not do it to me." And
Wow.
so, I mean, that's powerful stuff there. Okay. So we call this duality. Okay. Look it up. So will you pull up duality, a definition? So you got duality, which is, basically light and dark, good and evil, bad and good. Okay. And then you have non-duality, which, it's everything's kind of neutral, or everything's good. You just can't see it. Right. And so every spiritual practice teaches the principle of non-dual awareness, non-duality, which means if we're all atoms and we're all part of the essence of God, then that's what we are. So how can there be...
It actually means an instance of opposition or contrast between two concepts or
Right.
two aspects of something, a dualism.
Right. Good and evil.
Right. Dark and light.
Dark and light.
Stillness and movement.
Exactly. So every spiritual tradition teaches non-duality, and in my opinion, Jesus teaches it in the most boots on the ground,
Simple.
everyday life.
Right.
Great examples with people you would meet, even in modern day. Even though this is written back in the day, these instances, these interactions he has it could be yesterday. I mean, they frequently are. From my experience.
Right.
And so So when he does these things, so when he says these things, right? Like,
you clothed me.
yeah.
Or you didn't clothe
I was a stranger and you welcomed me. I was naked and you clothed me, or I was naked and you didn't clothe me.
Right.
I was a stranger and you didn't welcome me. Right. So but he's giving you both. So he's laying out the duality, and then he's telling you you've lost either way. Right. Because I am all those things.
Yeah.
I am the guy that you did it to, and I'm the guy you didn't do it to. So what's that mean? Well, you gotta love.
Because he's in everyone.
Because he's in everyone, right? So when he says, so the opposite is true. I was naked and you didn't clothe me. So that also means I had all the best clothes in the world and you did not say, you did not clothe me. You did not, you judged me, or you did something negative to me. Or, you did it to the least of me. Also, if you didn't do it to the best of me, to the highest of those, right? Because obviously the opposite is also true. If he does less, he has to be
and whether you did or you didn't, it doesn't matter.
Right. You've got to love through the whole thing.
Right.
You've got to love through now he's saying, that you should be giving everybody a drink. You should be.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that's what he wants you to do. But he's
ultimately wants you to love.
Right. He's
everyone.
He's every situation. He's every situation. And that's key, right? Because right here, when he says, one of the ones that always kind of stuck with me growing up was, I was in prison and you did not visit me. Okay. Yeah. And I was sick. He's so funny. I was sick and in prison. It's bad enough you're in prison. Or it's bad enough that you're sick back in the day, right? There's not doctors. I mean, there's not penicillin. But both?
At the same time?
He's just doubled down. I was sick and in prison and you did not visit me. Now listen, I don't know about you, but when was the last time you visited anyone in prison, let alone if they were sick or not?
2 6 at the same time.
I've never visited anyone in prison, I'm sorry to say.
All right. Well, no.
I have not visited anyone in prison because no one
Jail,
there's one person I probably
prison.
should have visited, but it was up in Fresno and I was starting a family and this whole thing.
Right.
Starting to feel guilty.
Oh, man.
But everything's the way it's supposed to be. Anyway, so I like how he says, I was sick and in prison and you did not visit me. Well, I mean, what if you were, what if you were a really bad guy and is sick and in prison? Should I visit you then? He makes no qualification. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter everyone in prison is me.
Right.
Everyone that's naked and needs clothes is me. Everyone that's a stranger is me. Everyone that's a stranger is him, my hero, the master. That's heavy. It hits heavy.
Yeah.
And so when you deny, that's when, give to all who ask. I mean, this is the reason.
Right.
Because guess who's asking? The Lord is. Because I'm
scared now.
Yeah, right? Because
I think I just wet myself.
Because his name is I am, right?
Right.
And then he's the name above all names.
And
right?
If you're gonna say I am, you better act like you know what you're doing. You know?
Right. So we were talking about how your words and your thoughts and your actions, they create reality based on your emotion and how much passion, what you put into that. That's what creates what you experience. And so when the Bible, says he is the name above all names, talking about Jesus.
Yeah, King of Kings.
Yeah, the King of Kings. And so how does that manifest it? So that's the cause, the fifth dimension kingdom of heaven. So Jesus is the name above all names. I mean, all the religions think he's really awesome.
That name.
Yes. Okay. So he's the name above. He's the only character in all the religions that he transcends every faith, every belief system, every all those things. So he's the name above all names. And so then originally his name is I am, right? So how does it manifest in the 3D? When you introduce yourself, what do you say? Hi, my name is Cody. Or hi, I am Cody.
I'm Tim. Yeah.
I am Cody. I am Tim. I am Shane.
Sure.
I am Aaron.
Sure.
I am. We all say I am. And is that not the name above all names? So that's why he told Moses that my name is I am who I am. Tell them I am sent you. Because he knows He knows all time and space. So he already knows the name of all names is his son. And his son and I and the Father are one, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why it's I am Cody. And we're all atoms. So we all have the essence of God. So that's why our names start with his name. I am Cody. And then he says, I live within you. Right here. What is it? Matthew 5, verse 45. Wait, no. Sorry. Over here. You know what's funny? I get all this stuff lined up, and then it's showtime, and I can't. I mean, where is it? Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Right there.
Sorry about that. John 17, verse 23. I am in them. This is Jesus speaking. I am in them, and you are in me.
Yeah.
He's talking about us. I am in them, and you. He's talking to his Father. I am in them, meaning you and me, and you are in me, the Lord God. May they experience such perfect unity that the world will know that you sent me and that you love them as much as you love me. I have given them the glory. This is the Lord. This is the Master, bro.
I am in.
He says, yeah. And then later he says, verse 22, I have given them the glory you gave me. What? Jesus is saying he's giving us the glory that the Father gave him. That's huge. That's huge. So we're not flesh and blood, folks. I mean, if this is true, which I believe it is, because the guy's never failed me. And if any of you out there have ever even just, you don't ever go to church, you never read the Bible, but you just pray to Jesus because that's what grandma told you to do. And guess what? It worked, didn't it? Oh yeah, it did. I have given them because you are one, because you are a child of God. I have given them the glory you gave me so that they may be one as we are one. Boom. I mean, can I just repeat that every day? That's my new affirmation every morning. I have given them the glory. Thank you. Thank you, Master.
Yeah, thanks.
You gave me so that they may be one as we are one. I in them and you in me, that they may be perfectly united, so that the world may know that you sent me and have loved me and have loved them just as you love me. He loves us just as he loves the Son of God, the name above all names. I am Cody. Tell them I am who I am. I am sent you. You are made in the image. I mean, are you guys getting it, dude? And we're all made of atoms,
That's
which
why
is energy.
He's washing our feet.
It's boom. Let's just do a round of applause. I mean, this isn't rocket science. I don't need a pastor or some guy from seminary to come over here and explain this shit to me. Okay? This is clear as the sun shining every day. Hallelujah. Okay? And so this is the reason he's told Moses, I am who I am. Because he's you and he's me and he's everybody and he's everything at all times. Isn't that one? That's good news, folks. That's
great.
really good news. All
Rejoice.
Yeah.
And hear the
I don't
great
care if a
news.
train crashed in Ohio and supposedly something is, blah, 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 blah.
Blasey blah.
Because I'm made in the image. Okay. And according to the only guy ever that ever tells the truth without fail, he gives us the Creator's glory. I mean, straight up. Even if the Creator didn't want it, the Son's like, I give it to him. And then earlier in another verse, he goes, and anything I ask of you, you give me. So, I mean, it's a done deal. Cody and Tim are multidimensional, eternal beings. And so is everyone listening to this and people that aren't, whether they know it or not. I mean, I'm loving that. I mean,
it's hard to beat.
We connected that.
It's hard to beat.
Okay, so now we got that going. So the everybody scriptures. So, he doesn't care who's in jail. He's everybody. The most notorious, the guy that got 10 jaywalking tickets. If you're in jail, Jesus is in you.
Right.
And the opposite. If you've never been to jail, Jesus is in you, right? And I and the Father are one. You guys heard the whole thing. All right. Now we're going to go to, okay, so Jesus is Jewish and he's talking to, the disciples are Jewish and I am is a pretty powerful deal. And so he goes on kind of a rant. Jesus loves to rant, and I can really identify with him on that. I love ranting.
Yeah. You ran.
He goes
you
on a
ran
rant.
more than Jesus.
Wait a minute. I don't. Well, yeah. I mean, I've lived longer. Poor guy. He went to the other. Well, no, he's still up, but so we're gonna go. He goes on a rant. He does these I am. They're called the I am statements.
Yeah.
And Jesus says 7 I am statements. Do you have them up? I have them all right here.
Go for it.
But let me send it to you because I don't want to do them all. Here, I'm going to send it to you. Hold on here. I'm going to do an airdrop. I'm going to send it to you right now.
All right.
Okay, pull that up. Okay. All right. So John 6:48. I am the bread of life. So purposely, I am the bread of life. John 8:12. I am the light of the world. John 10:9. I am the door. That's dope. I am the door. Right? So what's he saying? Is he saying Jesus of Nazareth is the door? I mean, yeah, but when he's talking to Jews, and let's say you're not his disciples, you're just, one of these people hearing his sermons, the I am the door to them means the Exodus statement. I am the door. The Lord is the door, right? To his disciples, sure, and to us, sure. But it can go both ways, right? If I and the Father are one, then I am the door is I am the door. But
the door to what?
Well, door to the way, to the kingdom, right? Because his entire preaching was about the kingdom.
Okay.
And how to access, which is the metaphysical fifth dimension.
Which is within you.
Right. And how to think and control reality through what we believe. So that's why and he's the example. That's why he is the door. Because look, when you're in the ancient times, you're downtrodden. The Romans are ruling over you. I mean, how do I get out of this? He's saying, you don't have to be in this. We're metaphysical. You've been lied to. You're actually, divine beings. Let's start using our power. And they go, well, what evidence do we have? You have me, my life. My life is the evidence. I turned the water to wine. I fed the multitudes. That's why he's the door.
Right.
Because he's the example. So at the very least, you can just hold on to the example that you saw with your own eyes.
Okay.
Right? Or the one you can say he's the door. He healed you from addiction. Right? So
yeah.
Right? So he is the door as far as you're concerned. Now, someone else can take this. Let's say a Hindu wants to look at this I am the door. They love Jesus. Hindus love Jesus. They love the master. And they would look at this and go, I am the door. And then they would look at his life and go, oh yeah, clearly he is the door, the way, which is love God, love your neighbor, love yourself, love your enemy.
He's
the door.
I am the resurrection and the life.
Right. So that's John 11:25. I am the resurrection and the life. I mean, I am the resurrection and the life. So is he talking about, Jesus of Nazareth is the resurrection and the life? Or is he talking about Jesus, the one who was born again, that has had the revelation, that is the Son of God?
Yeah, because when I hear that, I'm the resurrection, I think about that scripture that it says you got to be born of water and then born of spirit.
Which is where we're
You have
at.
to crucify yourself and,
pick up your cross and follow me.
Right.
And so if a human being is standing straight.
So does that mean I am the resurrection and the life? Does that mean before and after?
Yeah.
Is that what that means?
I am the resurrection means I am your higher self. Okay. I am the example of your higher self. Look at it this way also. If a human being is standing straight up, like against a wall with good posture, everything, hands down at his side, okay? And then if he puts his arms straight out on either side of him, and you look at his shadow, what do you see? You see a cross, don't you?
Yeah, cross.
Oh, you see a cross, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, so you see a cross. Don't you think that's really coincidental? I am is my name. And when you're standing up straight and you put your arms out, all of a sudden you're the cross, right? And so and who are you gonna crucify? You're gonna crucify this self-identified Tim who thinks he's flesh and blood and one out of primordial soup and the Big Bang, and you're just come from an ape, and you're basically just dust in the wind, and your life is but minuscule, and all these negative beliefs, right? So you crucify that because that's a lie, because your body's the cross, right? You crucify that, and guess what resurrects? What will always be there? I am. The I am will be there. So you're the resurrection. And then once you realize that, once you become that higher self, once you live, and this isn't rocket science. It's love God,
so
love your
you're
neighbor.
crucifying your lower self.
You're crucifying your ego. You're crucifying the ego that says, this isn't right. This is crazy. This is too risky. You're fat. You're this. You can't do that. Doomsday's on its way.
That sounds like 3D.
Yeah, it's the
3D
Truman Show.
Ego.
You
crucify that.
Right. And
take on the new life. Right here, the next one's I am the way, the truth, and the life.
Right. And so mainstream religion takes that and uses it as a division. So that's when they take that and go, see, he's saying he is the only way, and everyone else can just go, jump off a cliff. And
he doesn't say that, though.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't say I am the only way.
No, thank you. Yes.
The only truth and the only life.
No. He is in my opinion, and if you read the Gospels and you compare it to all the other wonderful spiritual practices, you'll see that he is the clearest, simplest, not rocket science, no qualification.
Brass tacks.
Yeah, no qualification. You can do it right now type of.
Right.
They all teach a loving, non-dual oneness with God, but the Lord is the one that puts it really boots on the Buddha does a great job too. Don't get me wrong, but he puts it. It's in a more modern way. That's what I'm saying. You read the Gospels, you can see all of his interactions. You can have the same interactions today. So he's talking to. So he's Jewish. His disciples are Jewish. There's no New Testament yet. Jesus hasn't been crucified, and he's saying, "I am the way, and the truth, and the life." Right?
Yeah.
So to a Jew hearing that, they're immediately reflecting on God's name as I am who I am. Tell them I am sent you. Okay? I am the way and the truth. So he's and he's always talking about his Father throughout the Gospels, right?
Is the resurrection the way? I'm looking at these next to each other. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the way and the truth and the life.
You can't have the life or the truth without the resurrection of your higher self. Yeah, that was a jinx. Dude, we're synced up, huh?
The jinx.
Listen, folks, don't get us. I mean, you know what? We need to spend less time together. I mean, my goodness. So if you're a traditional Jew back then, and you're hearing "I am the way and the truth and the life," you're thinking, "Oh,
that's all we."
You mean God? It's not. Well, I mean, it's I am is the way.
Oh, right.
And the truth and the life. But religion turns it into Jesus is the only way. And listen, Jesus is a great way, and ultimately his example is the only way. But other people have taken it that way too before they knew him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sure.
I'm not trying to be mean to anybody. Okay. It's still, his name is still above all. I mean, I am is the name above all names, and I am Cody. It doesn't matter. Right. And it's all about love and unity.
Yeah.
And he's the only spiritual character that is in all of the faiths. So I am the way and the truth and the life. And the other way to look at it is this. It is, I am the example. Remember, I always say that about the master. He is showing you our potential, what we should be doing, how we should be operating, the power that is truly in all of us. That's why I said all those other things. I read all the scriptures to you. It's clear as day that we are the children, almost bigger than just children. We're an image. If God looks in the mirror, he sees you. That's what image. Okay. Don't let the study notes and some other expert tell you that it means something else. Just read it yourself. And so when Jesus is saying, I am the way and the truth and the life, and then he says, I am in you and you in me. So he's in me and he sits on the throne in his kingdom, which is in me. So who's the way then? So if you read this,
I am.
Exactly.
I'm the way.
Exactly. Okay. And then the last one, I am the true vine. Okay, great. But
Yeah.
I need to, because you said that, it leads perfectly into the next segment, which is the idea that, okay, so what is the way? You're the way. And how can that be? Because you are the essence of God, right? You're the atoms, you're the energy. And the master shows us clearly multiple times, just like quadruple down on this whole I am, you're in me. We've gone over it. Great.
Right.
Okay, now think about this. You can only experience life through your own eyes, through your own consciousness, okay? You can't look through Tim's eyes. You can have empathy. You can imagine what Tim maybe went through, but you can never look through another person's eyes or consciousness for that matter. So you cannot experience life as anything other than what you are. So that's why, what is the way? There can only be one way, because you can't experience reality or life any other way than except through you. So thank God his name is I am. And thank God that I and him and me and you and the whole kit and caboodle, and he's the guy that's in jail and he's the guy that's not in jail and he's the rich guy and the poor guy. Thank God, because you can't do it any other way, brother. You are you. I am Cody. I am Tim.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can't experience life. And so here's a great example of that. I'm on the phone and I'm making some financial moves. Okay. I'm moving things around. I'm talking to this guy.
Crunching numbers.
I'm
moving and shaking.
I'm changing banks, opening new things. I talked to this guy. He goes, yeah, can I have your
transactions?
That's right. I'm making some. Was I making transactions? I was.
You were. Some serious transactions.
Yeah. So this guy is, hey, how you doing? Can I get your birth date?
Right.
I go, yeah. So I give it to him. And he goes, wow. It's
September 9th.
Listen, let's not. And he goes, wow. It's not every day that I get a call that the person on the other end has the same birthday.
No.
I'm like, you got to be kidding me. He's like, no, not at all. My birthday is this.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I've never
so immediately,
had that happen.
Immediately, synchronicity starts happening. I'm like, okay, well, I'm supposed to be on this call.
Right.
So one thing leads to another, and we start rapping or whatever. And he goes, yeah, we're talking about, what stocks may be doing, what these different investments may be doing.
Yeah. 1
week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 months, whatever it is. And he goes, well, what did he say? He said, things, I was looking out there, man, things may get crazy. Things may get crazy. And I go, whoa.
Wait, he said that to
you?
Yeah.
He goes, because we were broing out a little bit. And he goes, Cody, things may get crazy out there. He's a younger guy. And I go, whoa. I go, whoa, dude.
What?
I go, things may get crazy. He said, well, And I go, I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you mean. He goes, you know what I mean. I go, yeah, but isn't that, I go, look, I hear you, but isn't there another way to look at it? He goes, what do you mean? And I go, honestly, man, I've been thinking about this. I go, okay, when you say crazy, let's talk about the different crazies there might be. So you got financial crazy, you got environmental crazy.
I just watched The Last of Us last night.
Listen, don't do that. You got zombie crazy. Okay, zombie crazy, you got nuclear crazy, you got China crazy.
There are people that are apocalypse crazy.
You got apocalypse crazy, you got Christian crazy, you got Muslim crazy, you got terrorist crazy, so
there's everything crazy.
Everything's crazy. Wait a minute. So that everything has a crazy version, like a flavor?
Pretty much.
So ice cream's good. It's got a lot of flavors. Life is good, but it's got a lot of crazies.
Right.
Is that what's going on?
Right.
And some of the crazies are better than others?
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to go suck my thumb.
What
and
did
pray
he
for
mean,
God.
though?
Okay, so I
was
said
he
all these different
referring
things,
to?
and he goes, well, just pretty much all the above. I mean, any of those affects
wow.
finances, right? Any of those go too crazy, and finances. I go, okay, but isn't it true that the only reason we even have these different ones that we just talked about is because we read about it, or saw it on the video screen, or saw it, and video screen, I mean laptop, cell phone, the gadgets.
Of course.
And then I said, and also the TV. And he goes,
Yeah,
well,
it's trending or whatever.
and so he goes, well, I mean, yeah. And I go, okay, let's put that on the shelf. If we're just going by our own experiences, our own day-to-day experiences, and through our own eyes, pretend there's no newspaper and magazine, there's no gadgets, there's no TV. And I said, tell me how much crazy or, bad things or evil you have personally experienced through your own reality, living life day to day. And he paused for a minute and he goes, none. None. Now me, I'd say like one or two, but he's 37 or something. So he goes, none. And he lives in New York City.
Really?
He lives in New York City and he goes, none. And I go, wow. I didn't expect him to say that, I go, wow.
Sure.
I go, okay. So then I go, wow. Okay. Then how crazy could it really get? And he goes, not that crazy. I mean, if you're going 0, and what's it going to go to 150? Or we don't even know if that's on the dial. You're at 0, dude. And he goes, I mean, no. Yeah, I guess. And he goes, wow, thank you. I'm feeling better already.
Uh-uh.
And I go, that's what's really going on here, dude. We got to opt out. We got to start.
For sure.
We got to start really thinking about this shit. And, I was thinking about like, people say China's horrible, right? People say that.
Everyone wants to blame China.
People say India isn't that great as far as labor,
Sure.
these other things, right? And then I like go on and I go, something smells like bullshit to me. So I go on India, right? India has these beautiful forests and Bengal tigers, all this cool stuff, right? I do the same to China, beautiful stuff. I meet Chinese people. They're here on tourism. I talk to them a little bit. They love China. I meet Indian people. They love India. Can't wait to get back there, right?
Yeah.
And I start to go, well, something's going wrong here. Something's up. And this is what the truth is, people. There is millions of people that are having wonderful lives in India. There is millions of people that are having wonderful lives in China. You may not think it's wonderful. They don't give a shit what you think. They can't live their life through your eyes. The bottom line is they are having wonderful life. Now, there's millions of people that aren't too. But this whole idea that one is terrible and the other one isn't terrible.
Not everybody's
is ridiculous.
Happy and joyous.
No, of course not.
Anywhere.
Right. Fuck. I mean, I'm not yesterday. And I live in America, right?
I mean,
so again, with this whole narrative of these certain places are, you get the people on there, shitholes, this, that, and the other. It's like, and then you start to kind of internalizing this and kind of, thinking about it and going, well, you start believing this is true. It's not true. There's people in Iran that are having wonderful fucking lives, people, whether you agree with it or not. People like Saudi Arabia. That's why there's a large population there for your information. Same with Russia. Listen, okay? The bottom line is I'm done with this whole, broad stroke idea.
What do you mean, broad stroke?
Broad stroke. China's horrible. You know what they do to their people, the broad strokes. India, people live in slums. People live in slums here too, bro.
I know. I mean, that's my first thought. The whole thing just sounds like bullshit.
Right. And so same thing. And that's what when I asked the bank guy, if you just have to go off your own experience and the people you've met and talked to, how about it? 0. And we're talking the TV has people, I'll turn on right now. It's people are foaming at the mouth and they are certain Armageddon is like in 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And it just gets warped. The Truman Show is off the rails.
Have you seen that one that I told you about last week? Something about the Air Force is going to have a missile war against China in 2025 or something.
Yeah,
it's just like...
it's like, no, it's not. No,
Why?
it's not.
Why
Should I
would
run
you
the-
even
let's
pick
run the
a
network.
year that you're gonna have a
Okay,
battle?
you know what? This is
with-
perfect.
It's-
you
it's
know what? Here we
retarded.
go. Here we go. How about we do this? How about we just do this? Here we go.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work.
Oh, really?
Scared of losing their job.
This is like
Dollar
1971,
buys a
bro.
nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
I'm mad as hell. No. I'm not going to get mad as hell anymore. Because if you just heard that, people, that's a glitch. I just played you a fucking glitch in the Matrix right there. That's a glitch, bro. How is it possible that this movie called The Network, pull it up, IMDb this for me, what year this was made?
I thought it was 70.
How is it possible that this movie is talking about the horrors of the time, the supposed horrors of the time, replete with inflation, people in the gangs in the streets, Russia, they even name drop. We're talking, this guy just went over
1976.
1970, the year I was born, centennial, 200 years. Hey, listen. So he talks about all the things that are wrong in that day, and all the same things are wrong right now too. Again, people, it's not possible. It's not. If politicians really do something, if governments really do anything, then it's not possible that this guy just on a script, on a movie, he just, rapid fire a bunch of specific things going wrong.
Right.
And I'm in 2023 and it's the same exact
stuff
things.
I saw on the news last week.
It's the script. It's the
verbatim.
It's the script.
Right.
And you notice it's the network, right? So long story short, this guy used to be a anchor on the network and he can't take it anymore. That there's all this propaganda and stuff going on.
Yeah.
But it's curious that he says, I want you to get mad. They want us to get mad, right? And we did for quite some time. And I want you to yell out the window. But what has yelling and getting mad done for us? Well, it just makes more crazy dudes in the streets. And if I was head of a state and I got mad at Russia, well, guess what? Now we're at war again. So I want you to get mad. Yeah, you do, movie and network and Truman Show and 3D and Matrix. You do want us to get mad. You just want us to scream out the window, because when we're doing that, we're completely helpless. We're sucking.
So they
we're
just
one
have it
second.
on repeat or what?
Yeah, it's all on repeat. It's rinse. Because guess what? You're 46, 45. So they figure, we'll get him so sad and depressed, he'll manifest some kind of sickness and die off by 86 if we're lucky. So then we can just rinse and repeat this for his kids, and then they'll go down the rabbit hole and try to figure it out until they reach the brick wall of the Truman Show and go, oh, wait a minute. And then, then it'll just rinse and repeat for their kids and rinse and repeat for their kids. This is just ridiculous.
Right.
And if you go off your own subjective experience, none of what he just said on that clip from that movie applies, no matter what country you're in. It just doesn't apply. And so that's why we have to settle in to the real reality, which is the only reality we can ever experience. Whether you go for the metaphysical teachings of the Christ, the Master, or any of the other wonderful spiritual practices, or whether you don't and you just stay believing Caesar and his fear-mongering, doom and gloom, suck your thumb and pray for death world, you can never get past the fact that you are, I am. Thanks for listening. That's the show for today. And we had so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
always a good time.
We had a lot of fun. We'll see you next time. Okay, guys. We love you. And, love
your neighbor.
Love your neighbor. Love
and
yourself.
Your enemy, because all is God. And that's the only way.
Right.
That's the only way.
If you don't, bad things happen. See you next time. Love ya. Bye-bye.